JJ, I think you end up with 17 stocks tonight. Not sure what the deflections number was, but just the defensive activity and kind of the game plan. Where did you see that from the start of the game, and how did that play through?
Against those guys, you have to play as hard as them, at the very least, to have a chance to win. I thought our guys did that. I thought our game plan discipline was really good. In terms of the physicality, this is not a comment negative or positive on the officiating tonight, but it was a strange game, just in terms of the way I feel like the game has been refereed for the last, going back to post All-Star break and through the start of this season. It was a strange game. It was a lot of fouls and some of the physicality they've allowed just didn't feel like we had that tonight, which potentially led to some of those turnovers, particularly us on the offensive end with some offensive fouls and vice versa. So, but I thought just in terms of what we were trying to do defensively, we did a really good job. Max Christie, in particular, on ball was fantastic tonight.
I think these teams would have averaged, I think, about 37 combined fouls heading in, and what it ended up being 58 or something like that.
I'll take us with 27 over 8.
Okay.
It means we're playing hard and we're being physical. Just maybe 15 to 20 would be better.
Yeah, but you felt like, despite how that game went, though, that the thing you were able to stay along the path that you wanted to go as a team.
Yeah. I don't like the turnovers, which we've been pretty good for most of the year. I think our 2 highest turnover games prior to this were against Minnesota, which, not that it's explainable, but you can envision a scenario where you have a high turnover game against them. Memphis, again, plays very hard and have some disruptors, but some of the turnovers were a little unforced.
JJ, that early sequence where LeBron had the dunk followed by the chase down was kind of obvious to all of us that it looked like he had some energy in the tank. What was less obvious to you that in ways that you saw LeBron impact winning for you guys?
He's the best on our team with his attention to detail and shifts. Just his high shift to then close, his high shift to then get back to his man. He was great with that tonight. And truthfully, I think all our guys were. We're asking a lot, to be able to contain the basketball and give help, and then to be able to get back to our guy. And then they really stretch you on that because of their real concept, where you can be in that high shift and they're cutting behind you. But because we did I would say an outstanding job, it wasn't perfect, but we did an outstanding job of not allowing them to get middle every time. Those high shifts were really good for us.
JJ, 80 tied a season high with 40 points tonight. Obviously had the shoulder incident in the third. I guess, one, do you have an update on the status of his shoulder? And two, feels like his mid-range jumper.
I don't want to speak. I don't want to speak for what the actual diagnosis is here. I would just say that he had the stinger in a couple games ago. Told me tonight it was a stinger again. Saying I think it was the same shoulder. Mitch, left shoulder. Okay, yeah, we'll give you official, but I think it's just a stinger. Yeah.
Okay. The second one was just mid-range jumper. The last few games feels like it's really been falling at a high level for him. When he's in that type of rhythm, what does it do for him offensively, and what does it do for the offense overall?
Yeah, I think it forces defenses to honor space, and then it allows him to then create opportunities to draw fouls. So it's important, and we're the sort of funk from 3-point land continues for us, and it feels like it's been that way for a little bit. We probably have had some good shooting games mixed in, but we're struggling right now from beyond the line. So if we can't get layups and we're taking mid-rangers, those mother effers better go in, or we're going to have trouble scoring.
Good restraint.
It's twice tonight.
Yeah, two for you. First off, seeing the kind of energy and attention to detail and all that stuff from LeBron, will that play a role in how you guys handle his time and his minutes moving forward in this season? Like, I mean, having I know it's one time, but like having a piece of evidence to kind of show the benefit of a break.
Sure. I think it requires communication and feedback from both parties. It also maybe it's not sitting out a game. Maybe it's not necessarily like I told him the night before the game, not necessarily less minutes, but sort of shorter runs so that he's not getting gassed, and then quicker segments on the bench, and then he's back in. You know what I mean? So there's different ways to do it than just to say we're going to rest you and you're going to sit out a game.
And then you mentioned Max on the ball. We talked, or you said pregame. You kind of laid out the template for the guy that you wanted to maybe put in as that fifth guy. It sounded a lot like Max. Why did you go with him tonight? And then I guess just his willingness to be aggressive against such a dynamic player. And John Morant, what did that kind of show you about a young guy?
Yeah, I think in terms of the decision, it wasn't an easy decision. And we really feel like as a staff, Gabe has been fantastic the last couple weeks, particularly on the defensive end, with his physicality and on-ball stuff. And he's also had some good offensive games as well. I think the size and just the athleticism and the fact that, you know, Max has a really good feel for the game and he can move was important. And then just in terms of, you know, his long-term outlook and his growth, I think these opportunities are great for him. You know, I'll reference the Oklahoma City game where, you know, he made a mistake at the end, and we play a week later in Atlanta, and, you know, he's in this sort of the same situation at the end of regulation, and he gets a block on Trae Young. So, you know, with young guys, these opportunities are great for them to grow, not only in confidence, but also just the learned experience and the learned knowledge of being in different situations.
JJ, just following up on LeBron, 18, 8, and 8 tonight, just what was your overall assessment of his play here in his first game back?
Yeah, I mean, I have no idea what he did in terms of on-court stuff during his time off. I think, you know, the turnovers, or, you know, even just the three-point shooting, you know, it was, you know, so there's a little feel and a rhythm to that and a touch to that. But the energy, and, you know, we saw some, as Dave mentioned, some really athletic plays to start the game, and some, I thought overall just some great defense, and really just an important part of us having a good team defense is his talk and his effort level on that.